Hi there, Isaiah from Traction Tools. In this video, I'd like to show you how to run a level 10 meeting inside of your Traction Tools account. You may be a leadership team member or leader of a department inside of your company, and you've got the responsibility of running a level 10 meeting. So Traction Tools makes it super simple for everyone, especially for supervisors and leaders and all of your direct reports. So you should see your meeting inside of the software. When you click on the L10 icon in the top left corner here, you should see your level 10 meetings listed here that you're an attendee of. Now, your meetings have a database. Let me just start with this really quickly, that continually updates. So what I mean by that is we don't have to create a new level 10 meeting up here each time we want to run a meeting each week. So essentially, we only click up here to create a new meeting when we want to create a new departmental level 10 meeting, such as finance, sales, operations, a same page meeting, etc. When we're ready to actually run our meeting, we're inside of the software, we're going to start and conclude a meeting each week. That way, all of our information is live, it's active, it's up to date. So throughout the week, the couple of things that I would suggest here is I'd have all of your team members download the mobile app. It's called Traction Tools. It's a free download. This is going to help everybody stay on top of their to-dos. They can easily add issues, people headlines, etc. through the mobile app. If you're on your desktop, everybody please use Google Chrome when you're using Traction Tools. And then throughout the week, your team members can click up here, add a new people headline, new issue, new to-do. They can update their scorecard, rocks, etc. right on their workspace. But in this video, what I want to show you is how to run a meeting and take advantage of some of the features that the software offers. So what we're going to do first off is click on Go here. This is going to take us to a preliminary startup page for our meeting. If you're in a conference room and you want everybody to have a sheet of paper, you can click on the L10 printout here. That'll give you a nice PDF of your agenda. If you use Zoom, you can set up your Zoom meeting down here in the meeting ID, and there's an integration there, a nice one with Zoom that you can take advantage of. Otherwise, let's click on Start Meeting as Leader to get this, our Level 10 meeting started. It's going to engage our timers here in the top left corner. We're going to start with our segue. Normally, there's nothing you have to do here. We're just going to take turns and let everybody share a personal and professional best. When everybody's done, all you have to do next then is click on Scorecard over here. This is going to take you to the next section of the agenda, your scorecard. Now, hopefully everybody's updated their data already before our level 10 meeting. That way, when we're meeting, all we're doing or having to do is evaluate this. There's a couple of settings that I'd like to show you that you could take advantage of for your meeting that might make it better. First of all, as you can see here, we've got dollar signs, percentages, etc. next to some of our numbers here. So if any of our numbers, if you click on the U here, you can change that to a dollar, a percentage, etc. just by clicking on the unit amount there. So you can take advantage of that. And then also in our settings, there's a couple of sweet features on the scorecard that I'd like to show you. So I'm going to click here and click on the advanced settings. The nice thing about this is once we have this set, we don't have to ever change it. So let's click on scorecard here in our advanced settings. I'm going to reverse the scorecard, and I'm also going to have the highlight week be the previous week, because most of the time we're going to be highlighting last week's data and not the current week. And the other thing that I'm going to turn on is the rock milestones. So I'm going to click Save here, and I'll explain each of these features in a moment. So what happens is our scorecard just got flipped around. So if you noticed before, our most current date was on the right-hand side and the history ran off to the left. When we reverse the scorecard, it puts your most current date over here next to the goal, and then your history runs off to the right. And then when I selected that box that said highlight previous week, that highlights last week's data for us, which is normally what we're evaluating, because most of the time we don't have this week's information yet. So what this does, though, when this blue box section is highlighting last week's information, if we need to create any issues out of our scorecard measurables, we can create a context-aware issue by clicking on these push pins here. So what I mean by that is, let's just do the number of new leads. Let's actually just update this so you can get a good visual here. Let's say we're at 12 and the goal is 45 for that week. And this is really bad. We got to talk about it. We want to add an issue out of this. So all you have to do is click on the push pin. It auto-populates the name of the issue. It grabs the details from the scorecard here. So really all you have to do is click OK, and that'll add that as a new issue now to your IDS list. So that's how easy it's going to be for you and your team to simply capture issues from your scorecard as you're meeting each week. So 7 billing errors. Oh man, you guys, we got to get that figured out. Okay, let's IDS it. Put it on the issues list. And actually, if anybody else is logged into the software, they would have the ability to click on the push pin there as well and click OK to add that as a new issue. And really, if you have any virtual or remote team members, a lot of times it does make sense to have those team members log into Traction Tools, click on L10, click on Go, and their screen will literally follow yours as the leader when you click on Start Meeting as Leader at the beginning. Then when you navigate through the agenda here, their screen will follow yours. It's a great way to really be on the same page for any remote team members. So let's click on our rock review next after we finish evaluating our scorecard. So our rocks, super simple. We can update the status here, just by clicking on the sliders. We can create any issues out of these. So if this is off track, I need to IDS that with my team. Click on the push pin. Again, it creates a context-aware issue based on that rock. We click OK. That's on our IDS list. If you click on the title of the rock itself, any notes that you've added to the rock will appear over here, along with any milestones. And then this syncs directly with your workspace also. So if you click on the rock on your workspace and add notes to it, you're adding milestones, etc., updating its status, all of that updates over in here to your level 10 meeting as well, which really helps actually for keeping everybody on track and our meetings up to date because our information updates in real time for everyone. So that's the rock review in a nutshell. Really simple. Push pin will create new issues here. The box with a check will create new to-dos based on any of our rocks here. Let's click on our people headlines next. Again, throughout the week, any of your team members will have the ability of, adding a new people headline by typing in there and just adding that. It'll populate in here. I would recommend that your team members add people headlines throughout the week. That way this is already populated when we're going to meet. A great way to do that is through the mobile app. Have everybody download Traction Tools. It's a free download for iOS and Android. They can click right in the mobile app. They can even upload pictures through it if you want it to be real dynamic. I took our data team out for breakfast, took a picture, a selfie with everybody through the app, uploaded the picture. We clicked on it. Here's the picture over here. Everybody can see the team building activity live and real and awesome. The other thing that I want to highlight here on the people headlines is if we want to let another department know about one of our headlines, maybe our sales team just killed it and they, had an incredible week, or we added a new client or whatever it might be. Click on the over arrow here. You can send that over to your sales team or your leadership team, etc. And then that'll be copied over to their people headline list. We can also create an issue or a to-do out of this. So if I need to discuss this with my team, let's click on the push pin. It's going to create an issue out of it. If we have just a to-do or a follow-up action item on it, we can click on the box here with a check. That'll create a to-do for us. When you create a to-do, you do have to put in the title, so do that thing. Hopefully we're going to be a little bit more specific than that, right? Because we might forget what that thing was. And then the due date is automatically populates for a week out. You can update that if you need to, but otherwise, a to-do is a 1 week action item. It's just set for a week out. Let's get it done before our next level 10 meeting. Going to click OK here after we've got the owner assigned. You can click in the box, select who the owner is going to be of that to-do. Let's leave it to Eileen. Click OK. We've got our new to-do added. Let's jump into our to-do list next here. So again, as the leader, we're just guiding through the agenda by clicking on the different agenda items here. So on our to-do list, hopefully most of these are already checked off as people are, getting these done throughout the week. Our goal is to get 90% done. We've got a percentage to done that's calculating at the top here for us. Do that thing. This new to do, that's not included in the percentage to done because it's new. We've got a week to get that done. When we do hit 90%, you get the congratulations with the fireworks. This is real exciting. You know, encourage your teams to get 90% of their to-dos done. One thing that's really nice for me as a supervisor is I'm going to put this to-do, the due date, back in the past. If anybody on my team misses their due date, this little late button appears. You can't believe what a motivating factor this and how simple this is. Nobody wants to be the guy or gal that's singled out as slacking off while everybody else has their to-dos done. This just really helps boost productivity. At least for my team, I don't have to rag on anybody to try to get their to-dos done, etc. People just, you know, want to shine, basically. They want to do a good job. They want to be recognized, and this is a great way to do it. This really boosts accountability. It's exciting to see your to-do percentages, you know, skyrocket, especially using the software like this just makes everybody so accountable. There's no way to delete any to-dos, things like that. If they're late, they show up as such, and it's a great way for everybody to be on top of their stuff. Okay, so once we finish evaluating our to-dos, let's move on to our IDS list next. Here we're going to select the 3 most important issues just by clicking over here in the little IDS circle. 1, 2, 3, only lets you grab 3s. That's the EOS process. Click sort. I'm going to click on the first one here. Then our notes will populate on the right-hand side. This is where we can add any notes, details. I would actually recommend that you type notes in here. If we've got bullet points, 1, 2, 3, A, B, C, etc., let's add all of that in here over to the notes. The reason why is because when we create to-dos out of this, you know, once we've solved this issue, we click on the box here or here, does the same thing. It's going to create a context-aware to-do. We've decided on what our plan of action is. Look how it adds all of the notes into the details of the to-do. That way, when we're going to follow up on this item, whatever our action is, we put the title in there, assign who's going to take it again. Down in this corner, due date again is automatically set for a week out. Click OK. That way, Eileen is going to have all of these notes or details on her workspace attached to that to-do after the meeting. That's the really sweet part about creating context-aware to-dos out of these issues. Once we've solved that, we've created our to-dos, we're going to check it off as complete, move on to the next one. We're going to add our notes, create our to-dos, check it off as complete, all set. Now let's move on to the next issue. This one, you know what? This actually doesn't belong in this meeting. Let's move that over to another one of our level 10 meetings. We can send that over to our sales team, vice versa. So you have the ability of moving issues over to another level 10 meeting if you need to, just by clicking on this little over arrow button. And then that moves that to the appropriate meeting that you've selected. The other option that we have is this little VTO button. So if any of our issues here now are not really current, you know, we can solve them next quarter, or we're not ready to look at them right now, click on the little VTO button. That's going to take that off of your current IDS list, and it's going to move it on to your long-term issues list on your VTO. If I scroll down here, we've got that one added here, as you can see. You can move any of them back if you need to. Let's go back to our level 10 meeting. Those are the options with our issues here. Check these last ones off as complete. Then I'm going to move on to conclude this meeting. So when we do conclude, we'll recap our to-dos. You can edit these if you need to by clicking on them. Any cascading messages, we can capture those by creating a new to-do to inform anybody about any decisions that we've made if we haven't already captured those in our to-dos that we've created. And then we'll have everybody rate the meeting here. Another nice thing about the software is when we do finish this meeting and conclude, it's going to send us an email summary that's going to include a recap of our people headlines, the issues that we've solved, and it's going to include all of your new to-dos that are assigned to you. When you go to the workspace then after the meeting, all of your data is going to be here now. All of your new to-dos are right here. Again, you can find your to-dos on the mobile app when you download that. Great way to keep a track of everything. Then when we're going to meet for next week's meeting, we do the same thing. We click on go. All of our data is live, up to date, ready to rock. Start meeting as leader, and away we go. So thank you so much for watching this video. If you have any questions at all, please click up here. You can visit our knowledge base. You can click on contact support. This will create a ticket for you. One of our support team members will get back to you with an answer. So hope you have a great rest of the day. Thanks again for watching this video. Take care and bye now.